Calling all Foundation staff. Calling all Foundation staff. We are broadcasting from Site 42. We are calibrating our signal to the YouTube accounts. Make sure you are on your encrypted YouTube accounts tonight. Do not be on your civilian YouTube accounts. We had to bust Steve for that last week. Darn it, Steve. All right. Looks like we're all well and good. Let's get down to business. Hey there, Foundation staff. This is Sherman, but you can call me Sherm. Welcome to another Anomalous broadcast from Site 42. For anybody unfamiliar with our show, the rundown goes like this. Number 1, I read you an SCP document. B, I open up the floor to the community to discuss what we're reading. We're often visited by SCP authors, staff, and fans, and if we're lucky, the author of the article themselves shows up there to show some insight. Remember that if you'd like to join the conversation yourself, I will be monitoring the YouTube chat in between chapters and answering questions, as will my guest. Also remember that if you enjoy the show, leave a like and comment to let us know, subscribe and hit the bell, and if you really want to help us out, become a patron at patreon.com/site42. Tonight, we are continuing the Tales series Vend-a-Friend by Darkstuff. And lucky for us, Darkstuff has decided to join the show tonight. So let's bring him on. Good evening, Darkstuff.
Hello, it is I, Darkstuff.
Stuff that is dark has joined us tonight.
Yes, that is the truth.
How
are
was your
you?
week, amigo?
Well, I asked first.
Oh, you did? I did not hear.
I did.
My week was great. It was it was the best week ever.
Ah, nice. My week has been very stressful as I am continuing to work on all these gosh darn papers due for school, and they are huge and there are many of them. But doing a podcast is a very nice reprieve.
My week was only moderately good, and now I feel bad for bragging. It was fine. I'm sorry your week was stressful.
No.
And hello, Russ, in the chat. Thanks for joining us tonight. So, do you have any pre-show for us for our Chapter 6 of Vend-a-Friend tonight? That is, hello. Darkstuff, you still with me? We seem to have lost Darkstuff for the moment. Hello, Insanity Major. I should be. He can hear me. He's in the Discord chat, but his voice is not lighting up the Discord text-to-talk. I might need to hang up and recall him on the vocal call. I'm going to hang up and call you on the vocal call again. Can't hear him on YouTube. Join call.
What about now?
You're back!
Wow, crazy, insanity.
All right. Well, we will keep an eye on Discord in case it decides to do that again.
Yep.
In the meantime...
It's quite easy to tell when you can't hear me.
That's true. The panic starts setting in very quickly.
So I think what I was going to say that was cut off was this. I have nothing to say other than this is an intermission that was written actually after Chapter 7. It was written after Chapter 7 and Chapter 8, but I added it in to be here instead of later because I wanted there to be an intermission between the first act and the second act. So we're doing a bit of time traveling in terms of in what order things were written.
Ooh. I'm going to wonder about why, like, how this came to you after those, or if it even, like, came to, but, like, I'm going to ask about that when we're done.
Mm-hmm.
All ready to go?
I am ready.
All right. And permanently now, Insanity Major is now Major. I will remember that. Just Major. Hello, Just Major. So, with no further ado, Chapter 6. Sometimes the best intentions are in need of redemption. I like that. An intermission. Pen. Pen to paper. Pen on paper. Pen tapped on paper. Polly tapped the pen on the 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 paper. On the paper. On the paper. This was about the same time that Polly tapped her pen on the paper. Hey, you. Yes, hello? Hey, did you know? Know what? Well, just have I ever told you? What about? Well, about how Polly tapped her pen on the paper. No, I don't think you've ever told me about that. Might you elaborate? Well, you see, Polly, right? Uh-huh. She's got a pen, right? Right. And she has a piece of paper in front of her. You follow? Yeah, I follow. Okay, here's the hard part. I'm listening. So she takes her pen. Uh-huh. She takes it, and she taps it. On what? The paper. Okay, you lost me. So I haven't told you about this before. I don't believe so. Okay, let's take it from the top. So there's this girl named Polly, and Polly? My hand jerked suddenly upward, and I smacked myself in the nose, which made a soft honk as its red puffy surface was so abruptly smushed. Oh my, are you okay? Oh, I'm so sorry. I crouched down and tried to massage the pain out of the bridge of my nose. I'm okay. I'm all right, really. I can go and get you some Band-Aids or a boo-boo blaster. TM? Oh, I'm gonna call up... Oh, you really don't have to. Really? Are you sure? It wouldn't take more than... Yeah, I'm sure. I don't want to be a bother. If you say so, but seriously, it would be no trouble. You're so sweet, 3T. Oh, it's 3T. But honestly, I'm fine. Just startled a bit. You absolutely sure? Absolutely. Really, actually? Positively? Yeah, thank you so much for the consideration, but really, I'm fine. So why did you come over? Oh, just passing by and you were just talking to yourself again. I wanted to make sure everything was A-okay, you know? Is it? Yeah, Is it all okay? Is there anything I can do? Yeah, it's fine. It's quite all right. I've just hit a block. Aww. Yeah, just a hurdle to get over. Nothing serious, nothing... So sorry to hear that. Worth worrying about, I really don't like when that happens. Phase that'll pass. How about you? Oh, I'm good. Just, finishing up a collaboration with Brainy. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to present it under my name, but really I couldn't have done it without him. He's good. One of the goodest toy tinkers to have come into our department. He's good, Polly. He's real good. I know. It's so cool that you get to work with him. Yeah. It's real cool. Yeah, it is. I leaned up against my workbench, still pinching my nose with my left hand, and smiled at Thomas Timothy Thompson. The happy, bumbling droning of all the other... I'm starting to pitch up now that I realize it's Polly. The happy, bumbling droning of all the others working on projects in the toy creation department, along with the loud whir of their instruments and tools, assaulted the ears of all in the great metal hall. If they didn't feel like using company-provided too much stuff sound pounder earmuffs, and made it hard to hear one another. So I'm gonna get back to my work, Tom. Yeah, your work. Yeah. Polly looked down at her blank piece of paper. My work. Well, okay. I'm gonna go head back to my workstation. Yeah. Next to Brainy. Yeah. See you later, alligator. Yeah, you too. I'm always there if you need me. Yeah. You know where to find me. Yeah, I do. See ya, 3T. See ya. Have a good day. I will. Take care. I will. Bye. Bye! 3T sulked backwards around the corner of the next workshop over, maintaining eye contact and giving an ardent wave. He passed by the super saws and the heck hard hammers and the edge ripper hedge clippers on the tool wall before he disappeared into the sawdust and pink, red, and green smoke of the hall. I smiled at him all the way, but as soon as he was out of sight, my waving hand curled and slumped as I let out an exhausted, exasperated, unmotivated, unenthralled, absolutely uninterested, and maybe even slightly disappointed sigh. For as much as common courtesy said that everything was quite all right, everything was far from it. The presentation was in 3 days. Just 3. I sat down and leaned my head on the palm of my hand. What was I going to do? What was I to do? I picked up my pen and I tapped it. Where did I tap it? On the paper. Polly tapped her pen on the paper. Very important detail. Polly tapped her pen on the paper and thought. What was I going to do? Tap. Would I forfeit this presentation? Tap. I couldn't afford that. I couldn't afford to miss one. I had to take every opportunity I got. Tap. Maybe I shouldn't have lied to 3T. Tap. Maybe I needed to go back and ask for help. Tap. Serious help. Tap. Help conceptualizing. Help making things reality. Help getting anything, literally anything, past the finish line. Tap. But that would require getting up. Tap. I didn't want to get up. Tap. Tap, 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 tap. Tap. The pen was vigorously thrown at the tin wall, and it made a less than satisfying ting sound. Polly tinged the pen on the metal. I smiled. Initiative. There was no shame in asking for help. I was taking initiative. People don't learn before they have teachers. Maybe I just needed a teacher. A 3 teacher. Thomas Timothy teacher. I chuckled at my own jokes. Things were looking up. Things were looking up. Polly pat her feet on the concrete. I took an apple from a basket and passed it to a low-flying glow snake, swarms of which made up the only source of light in this place. I passed workshop upon workshop, toy tinker upon toy tinker, my confidence growing with each sideways look. I was going to have something to present this gum day. I was. I turned the corner, my chest puffed out, and a fire burning in my eyes. Thomas Timothy Thompson. He wasn't at his workbench, that was for sure. I saw his tea, his small pack, a bag lunch, and his framed picture of that girl from the sweets and consumables department. Maybe he was in the next booth over, with Brainy. Shuffling one over, into Brainy's orange and black painted workspace, I found myself still alone and a little confused. Guys? Hello? He had his 2 tiger posters up as usual. Sometimes he changed them, in case he dressed them up differently that morning. No. Sometimes he changed them, in case he dressed up differently that morning. But most often it was all tigers. There were some various tools sprawled about, some blueprints. Sorry, beep on my phone. Reset, back it up. There were various tools sprawled about, some blueprints, some Jell-O? Just lying about? And a tin full of hard, fruity candies. Notes were scrawled in his ever-neat, dime-tall handwriting. Blueprints were rolled into cylinders and put up as big columns all over his desk. And an inkwell for his old-timey purple feather pen was accumulating a small pool at its base. Though recently used, the place was deserted. Pals? Leaning backwards and looking around both corners of the space and down the long, worn walkways. Nothing. No Brainy, no 3T, no one useful in sight. I decided that I'd wait for them. Tom said they were collaborating on something. Maybe they had both gone to find some materials, or talk to someone about a project detail. Maybe they went to the bathroom together. People do that, right? I know I didn't because I didn't have any friends to do it with. But I had heard it was a thing that normal people did with other normal people. So I'd wait. Standing though? I couldn't stand that long. I'd sit. I sat in Brainy's spinning chair. I wished I had a spinning chair in my space, but mine broke and hadn't been replaced yet, and began to twirl. Good thinking time. Motion was good for thinking. I couldn't help but let out a quiet whee as I flailed in the chair and turned every which way. He had a really good gig with this place here. I was a little jealous. The slightest bit envious, but not too much. Just enough to think of taking his chair. Maybe one of his pens. He had some really nice pens. He'd be a lot less likely to notice a missing pen than a missing chair. What did he have lying about? I pushed the chair out into the walkway, this time hoping not to see Brainy or 3T. And then I set to work. I mean, I wasn't planning to take anything. What was the harm in looking? I was just curious. It was going to be fine. I looked at all his little cabinets and read their labels. References. Could be useful. I like drawing references. They could have been culture references too. No, they could have been culture references too, though. Not too interested in those. Next, paper for taking notes on. I had been running low, and there's so many of those. He wouldn't mind if I took some. I opened it and stuffed a small sack of printer paper under my coat. It was nearing winter up here, and zipped it up to keep it safe. Next, office supplies. Boring. Next. Ooh, a big wide one. Blank blueprints. Maybe he had something in here. Below it was another one that said, works in progress, which I assumed were other projects he was planning to get back to. I thought, but no, I couldn't break the code. I wouldn't want to steal an idea. That would just be preposterous. Next. Scrapped. Scrapped? Scrapped what? It was another wide one, so blueprints? Scrapped, huh? I opened it and found many blueprints and notes crumpled up and shoved into the space. Ah, scrapped ideas. Ideas he wasn't going to work on. Trash. It was his trash. His trash stuff that he wouldn't miss if it was gone. I could look through a legend's trash. I was trash. I was really bad trash. I was some putrid garbage rotting in some hole somewhere. Figuratively. Don't want to be confused with Suey. Poor Suey. But Brainy's trash couldn't be worse than my trash. In fact, I was so bad, it was probably better than my best. And he didn't want it? I rechecked the name of the drawer. He didn't want it! I lit up. What treasures awaited me? What trove had I just plundered? What gold had I found? I pulled the drawer out completely, rested on my lap, and dug in. Squishy squeezy hug slugs? No. Can of bookworms? Ew, no. Ant seeds? Oh, for your ant farm. I got it. No. Bedbugs, bed bites. I was sensing a theme. Still no. Ring, ring, ring. Ring, ring, ring. What? Oh, no. Piano plant? Ooh, now that was cool. And it incorporated, actually used a piano plant? Ooh, now that was cool. And it incorporated, actually used plants to make it? Some pretty flowers, too. and some Vine type things, and you got to do it in your voice. Ooh, it looked pretty easy too. Even I could make it. This was perfect. It even had a good ring to it. Polly's piano plant. Polly? I convulsed, and the entire spinning chair fell over, throwing the drawer up and letting it smack me in the cheekbone and spewing its contents all over the floor. Oh my, are you okay? What are you doing in Brainy's workspace? It's not what it looks like. You can't be. I swear I'm not. Stealing from Brainy? Polly, Gary, I'm not. I'm really not. I just came over here to steal? Don't talk so loud, people might believe you. Thomas Timothy Thompson immediately shut up and straightened up, more so than he already had, looking embarrassed. In little more than a whisper, I spoke up again. Help me clean all this up, please. What? Right, it was very loud in there. Help me clean all this up, please. He looked helpless, glancing between myself and the walkway behind him. I beckoned him several times. Each time he looked just a little more shaken and dancy. Finally, he gave in and crouched down next to him.
That's a typo. Let me fix that.
All right. Found one.
Yay, found one. Next to me is what it should say. Done. Okay, sorry.
Finally, he gave in and crouched down next to me. So, what are you doing? I don't like either of those. So, what are you doing? That's the one. I was coming over here to find you because I needed to ask for help. I thought you said you were fine. Well, I'm not. Presentations are on gum day. I know. And I don't have anything. So you noticed I wasn't there? Yeah. And decided to steal from Brainy? No, Tom, no I didn't. I was waiting for you. In Brainy's booth. And I had nothing to do, and I figured that... And look, I went over there thinking you were with Brainy. I figured that he didn't need the stuff in his scrapped drawer, so I strolled through it looking for inspiration. And look, I found one. I found inspiration. Inspiration? Yes, inspiration. That's not stealing? No, it's not. I'm just going to take some of his ideas and mold them into something of my own. Everybody learns from the greats, and I need a teacher, so I guess I should have asked him, but that's what I came over to do, and nobody was here, so... So you just, rummaged through his desk? His trash, 3T. I rummaged through his trash. He's not going to miss it, I swear. And I'm not stealing. You're not stealing. We both had our hands on the piano plant blueprints. No, I'm not. Tom, I wouldn't do that. That's mean. I'm just drawing inspiration from Brainy. Anyone can do that. I tugged once, and he held fast. Tom? I gave him puppy dog eyes. I gave him puppy eyes. I wasn't meaning to be deceitful or guilt-tripping. I just really wanted those blueprints. And I wasn't going to steal. I wasn't. I was going to make something Polly, Gary, Ashley would make, just taking guidance from the greats. That's how it was going to happen. It was. 3T loosened up, and I gently slipped the brewplints. Brewplints is my favorite word today. 3T loosened up, and I gently slipped the blueprints out from under his hands. He stayed sitting on the floor, brow furrowed and lips pouting, while I slipped the reorganized drawer back into its place. So, where is Brainy? Oh, hi, Polly. I quickly hid the blueprints in my coat while turned away from Brainy, and then promptly greeted him. Hey, Brainy. Hey, Brainy. Hi. How are things? Things are good. I was just here talking to 3T about the presentations. I don't have anything yet, and... Aww. So I was going to get tutoring from Thomas here. I hate it when that happens. But he wasn't around, so I waited in your booth, and here we are. 3T looked pitifully at me, realizing I wasn't going to tell Brainy about taking his scrap blueprint. 3T looked pitifully at me, realizing I wasn't going to tell Brainy about taking his scrapped blueprints. He shot me that, so you are stealing look, and I shot him that, I am not, I'm just going to tell him that I was rummaging through his desk because that would make me look bad. I am not going to tell him. I am not. I'm just not going to tell him that I was rummaging through his desk because that would make me look bad, and I wouldn't have been put in such a compromising position had you not shown up and started accusing me of things, and I would have been able to go through this more properly. Look. Well, maybe he didn't get all the intricacies of that, but I think he got enough. So why is 3T on the floor? I'm tired. Makes sense. Yeah. Pause. So why is 3T on the floor? I'm tired. Makes sense. Yeah, it's been a long day. Yeah, that's how it goes 3 days from presentations. Yeah. It's hard for me to tell who's saying what there, but that's how I'm playing it.
It worked.
Say that again?
I said it worked. There's a little bit of ambiguity there on who says what, but the way you delivered it makes sense. So
cool, good enough.
Yep. All right, continuing.
I stood. Brainy stood, and 3T sat in awkward silence. For a while, I mean, it wasn't really silent because the whole room was so loud. But it was between us. Eye contact. More eye contact. Licking lips. Brainy's smile was fading. All right. Mind if I steal 3T for a bit? No, not at all.
Let me help you there. Let me help you. It's Polly says, all right, mind if I steal 3T for a bit?
Oh, okay, we're back. Thank you. All right, mind if I steal 3T for a bit? No, not at all. Thank you, Brainy. I swear I won't be long. Don't work him too hard. I won't. Come on, 3T. I have something to show you. You do? Yeah. Get up. Come on. I won't keep you long. Okay. 3T stood up, brushed some dust from the floor off of his pants, and sauntered towards me. His head hung low. Brainy raised his eyebrows. Wow, 3T, you get tired quick. All right, see you two. Good luck at presentations. Yeah, bye, Brainy. Bye, Polly. I'll be at my desk if you need me. Yeah, see you. See you later. Bye. Bye. Taking 3T by the hand, I practically dragged him back to my workspace. Past workbench after workbench, toy tinker upon toy tinker, my confidence was lowering with each sideways look. Finally, we arrived at my bland and barren desk. So you are stealing. I'm not. I'm just not going to tell him that I was rummaging through his desk because that would have made me look bad. And I wouldn't have been put in such a compromising position had you not shown up and started accusing me of things. And I would have been able to go through this more properly then. This is on... He pouted. Oh, fine. This is on both of us, okay? This is on both of us. But look, it's really nothing, I swear. You're not going to present the piano plant? I am not going to present the piano plant. I am going to make it my own thing. I promise you 100%. Pinky promise. I held out my pinky, and he held out his. Pinky promise. He smiled and lightened up. We pinky shook on it. You liar!
This is the most fun reading you've done so far, I'm gonna be honest. This was so much fun. I laughed through a lot of it.
This was energetic.
It was. So you now understand what was going on in this chapter, right?
Oh yeah.
Like yeah, I really love this chapter because the reason this came to me, you know what? I'm totally talking over what your post show usually is, aren't I?
My post show is usually to ask you what's up, so roll on, buddy.
Okay. All right. Well, this idea came when someone, I actually know who. I don't know if it's a spoiler to tell you. Their name will be mentioned later, so they'll get the credit they deserve later. But in case it tips you off, I won't mention who they are. They said that this story, the quote unquote plot hole, was like why Polly did what she did or why that whole thing happened. Like it was very briefly touched upon before it launched the story. And so I was like, okay, I can fix that. And then I decided to write a story from Polly's perspective, and this happened.
So wait, someone said that essentially Polly wouldn't do what happened in chapter 1, and so this is justifying it? Is that what I'm getting here?
Not she wouldn't, because she wasn't a developed enough character to like say whether she would or would not, but they
Right.
were wondering why it happened. So I added some more stuff there because it's like, why would they present something that is clearly stolen from someone else? But yeah, and then
See,
this
now I'm
happened.
like super curious as to like how we got from this to presenting the piano plant.
And there's a little bit of that later on.
I'm very excited about that. See,
Yeah.
something that this right here accomplished that I didn't know I needed
Mm-hmm.
is characterization of like Polly Gary Ashley, who
Mm-hmm.
wasn't very anything in the first chapter besides kind of a catalyst for Brainy's story.
Yep.
And didn't Brian make a point in the first story to call her trash?
Um, I don't think he called her trash, but he called her out on being a bad
Not
toy
very
maker.
good.
Yes.
So like when she said that, I was like, oh God, I remember that. And
Mm-hmm.
then, so now it's like, okay, well, she stole my thing and I think she's bad at what she does, but now she's got self-esteem issues and she's like
Mm-hmm.
sneaking around and, oh, I'm not going to steal it, but then I actually did.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm so curious as to who this person is and what their back deal is.
Yeah. They no, I can't, I don't want to spoil anything, but what happens between this chapter and the presentation is touched upon. That's all I can say and will say.
Hooray.
Yay.
I imagine like the meme where it's like, hey man, give me your answers. Okay, but change it just enough so the teacher doesn't notice.
Yes. It's very much like that.
But then she didn't. That's what I'm confused about. And so I'm so like ready to know.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything
The
else that this story should be telling us that should be prepping us? Something blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, actually that was what I wanted to ask you. Like, do you feel after reading this like you have a better idea of where the rest of this is going? Like after your predictions at the end of chapter 5, like does this feel like it's going a certain place, even if it is a flashback?
So from chapter 1 to 5, we followed the story of Brainy. We followed the tragedy of Brainy. And he got toasted. And we had a nice sad funeral. Or we were planning a sad funeral and planning what we're going to say for all the kids that he murdered.
Murdered.
And then we get a flashback to, okay, well, he was like justified in being upset, but that doesn't justify all the things he did.
Right.
So, but it does characterize our guys back home a lot more, because chapters 1 through 5 was 99% Brainy with a little bit of the people chasing him. This does bring us back to Wondertainment.
Yes.
And so, even though the ending of chapter 5 told me, okay, well, the next logical step is dealing with the fallout of the Brainy Brian incident, now I'm thinking that if you're going to look at it, what this gives me the idea is we're going to look at the fallout. Maybe we'll do both, but at a ground level rather than a high level. Like, I'm more worried about 3T and Pinky after this, and
Polly,
like the
you mean?
people who are tinkers, rather than like the managerial staff of Wondertainment. And I almost foresee like damage control done by the managers influencing what happens to these people who might end up being our protagonists. That's what I'm seeing right now.
I, of course, can't say anything, but I like where your head is at. One of the things I really did like about this story was I also got to revisit 3T. And there are so many characters from the series that I want to write about more now that the series is done, and 3T is totally one of them. I just kind of love him.
I was stuck in my head like right at the beginning where I was like, oh my God, what was his voice? And it was kind of like that slow, dumb Patrick-ish voice.
I think you did paint him like that, more or less.
Yeah, I love the energy that you write with in this series.
Thank you.
I can't just like the pacing and the repetitions of some things and like the lack of punctuation, it seems like sometimes.
Oh my God, the way you did the whole pen to paper beginning section, I was cracking up. I wish that we still had the video set up so that people could see how much you were slaying me with your delivery on that.
I
It was so
also
good.
wish that, and I'm gonna start researching a way to have a second video wimbo, a
That
wimbo
would
for
be
my
so
himbo.
cool.
I'm gonna figure out how to do that through OBS so we can pipe you in for that, one way or the other. But
I
in the
also think that
meantime, people will just have to go back and watch it for themselves.
I also think that now that we have a way for your teleprompter to do quote unquote italics, like you don't actually see italics, but you see what should have italics. A lot of your delivery was much closer to what I intended.
That's good to hear. And as a reminder to the viewers, I have not read any of this ahead of time, nor do I have a clue of the plot. I am learning this as we go, which means that sometimes I'm surprised by which character is speaking, but all of the shocks and all the surprises, this is like reading a new book for me, and it's real fun.
I think to try and make readability easy without dialogue tags, there were some places where it was just quotes, but three people were in the room. It was Brainy, 3T, and Polly, and I tried to make it so that when it was just quotes, it was just two people talking back and forth. I think I remember that happening. Like there was a place where you made Polly say some things that 3T was supposed to say, which was supposed to be implied because only Brainy and 3T started that conversation, and then it just went. just them. I don't know. I don't know. I just remember making a note of that, but I don't remember exactly where it was.
Yeah, there were a couple of those conversations where the three of them were in the room where I'm like, I hope this makes sense.
Yep. And that's another thing that I would be, if I wrote this again, I would do things a little differently because that was certainly on the confusing side.
And by the way, pacing wise, pen tapping was amazing. I love that bit in the beginning, but seriously, this is what I'm trying to tell him with my eyes in a paragraph. And then repeating that I saw that paragraph again and I was like, I get to do it again. I was so excited.
Yeah,
It was a
I think
fantastic bit.
Polly's internal dialogue is, how do I say, similar to Brainy, but only in that they're both kind of kiddie. And I really, really like writing that. I really like writing these very childish Wondertainment employees. They're so much fun.
Whew, that was good. I have nothing else. That was a fantastic like Olympics of like voice and rundown, and I am just gonna drink this water for a minute.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I have much else either.
Yeah, this is an intermission. It's a good short stream. Any final
Mhm.
words for the audience, my friend?
I am extremely excited for the next chapter. I think it's going to be just as fun.
Fantastic. Chapter 7 next week, everybody. I guess we'll start rolling down the credits. So, say your final piece to the audience, my friend.
Me? Have a good week.
Stay
Also,
safe,
thank
be
you,
well.
C Jops, in who said, "Love this tale so much."
Oh,
That's
God.
that.
Everybody, make sure you're upvoting these if you like them. The
Oh, thank you.
Today's story, the intermission chapter 6 is at plus 35, and the Vend-a-Friend hub is at plus 98. It's
Yeah,
at
it's so
plus
close.
98. Let's
So
get it to
close.
100, guys. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Triple digits, please. That would be so awesome.
Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe and comment and share it and help people see our videos because we have like 10,000 subscribers. We're going to have 11,000 soon and only like 100 people
Nice.
see our videos. Tell people about our video. Tell your friends. Tell them to come and
Tell
see the
your friend.
Wondertainment.
Oh man. Yeah,
This has been amazing.
this is really fun to do these podcasts. I'm having a really great time. All right, I got to go write the rest of my English paper.
Go do homework. Enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you in 7 days.
Yep. See, yep.
And you guys
Bye.
in YouTube land, thank you guys so much for coming. If you missed the beginning of the stream, go ahead and watch from the start. It'll also be in the Vend-a-Friend playlist, which we now have since we're up to like 6 chapters now. C-Jobs, yes, that was the Dado voice. I don't know why it was the Dado voice, but the Dado voice just came out. Go check out the Dado playlist. The Dado playlist is there for all your Dado needs. So, yes, this has been another Anomalous broadcast from Site42. I hope you guys had a good time. Do all the YouTube Patreon things. And, Dado is Wondertainment confirmed. Dado is the greatest inventor of childhood toys for future of all things. Best medicine and local laundry in town. That's enough of that. Oh, God, I'm signing off now. It's over. It's over. The Dado's coming. Ah!